I think we're live. We're live, everyone. Yes, we are. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new stream, and that is right. We are live on this beautiful March 26th, 2024. I hope everyone's having a phenomenal day, night, afternoon, midnight, wherever you are in the world. I'm certainly having a great day myself. It is time for yet another live stream, this time talking about this quote-unquote Biden surge. Now, for those that don't know, there's been a lot of people saying Biden is mounting a comeback and he is still going to win the election and he's surging. So I want to do a whole stream dedicated to this theory that somehow, magically, Biden is making a comeback, all right? And why this theory doesn't actually hold up. And in fact, this ain't the first time even this year these same people said Biden was surging. Now, before we continue with tonight's stream, I hope you enjoy these streams. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Again, folks, all support is greatly appreciated, and of course, if you have any questions, concerns, comments, or just want to support the channel even further, the best way to get them answered is via super chat via, well, the chat. Again, I'll try to read through as much chat as possible, but usually super chats are the best way to get your questions answered. So, again, I'll try to read through as much chat as possible, but all support's greatly appreciated. And also, I wanted to bring this up. For those that don't know, for the first time in my channel's history, I actually have a subscriber goal. Well, if we reach 20,000 subscribers by the end of June, again, legitimate subscribers, no BS, like legitimate people, I will play Halo on stream. Yes, the original Halo games I will play and stream. So, again, that's my first sub goal ever. 20,000 before June 30th. And, yeah. Alright, Explore Bear for 4. Biden surging because of suburban white hose. Well, I wouldn't go that far, but this is the headline from Axios. I'm telling my voice. Bloomberg / Morning Consult swing state poll hints at a Biden comeback. Well, this is kind of funny, you know. This is considered a comeback. Like, let's look at the polling for March from Bloomberg. Arizona, Trump +5. Georgia, Trump +7. Michigan, tied. Nevada, Trump +2. North Carolina, Trump +6. Pennsylvania, tied. Wisconsin, Biden +1. This is a surge for Biden. He's still down by 4, 5, 6, 7 points in most of these swing states. But it's so bad for Biden that when he has one decent month of polling, that's considered a surge and that the Biden comeback has begun. Look at this graph. He's still up by an average of 4 points in the swing states. Think about it. He's still leading in 4 of the 7. Tied in the other 2, and he's down by 1 in Wisconsin. But are people just gonna forget what happened in 2020? Like, let me pull something up, right? Let me pull 538 polls from 2020 up, because people just for some reason forget that these polls have always understated Trump's support. All right, print your writer for 5. When it never happened, but Trump should nominate a non-politician as VP. Not even kidding when I say someone like Snoop Dogg who won't hurt him and would help. I don't know if that's necessarily the case, because I think you need someone that's loyal, but understands how things get done in Washington. That's Trump's biggest problem. Mike Pence was worthless in that front. But alright. So, back in 2020, Biden was leading the polling aggregate by 8 points. 8. Alright? He won by a point. And let's look at, which poll is this again? Morning Consult. Did they even poll back in yeah. Their last poll, oh my freaking lord. It was Biden +13 in Wisconsin, with Trump at 41% and Biden at 54%. So you can't use the undecided excuse, like, oh, there's a bunch of undecideds and they broke for Trump. They had Biden at 54%. He didn't even crack 50%. Or he might have barely. Look at this. The same poll. They have them down by 1. Let's just say, let's just say somehow, by some miracle, that the polling miss from 2020 was the exact same in 2024. I don't think that's going to happen. If the same miss applied in Wisconsin with Morning Consult, it would be Trump plus 12. The largest victory for a Republican in the state since when? Nixon? DJ Aftershock for 2. Trump was going to announce Sean Diddy comes as VP. No. Pale for 2. What year/election that map on the thumbnail? That's 1964 with Barry Goldwater. I wanted to pick a Democrat landslide as a meme. But just look at this. Let's go to, what's another state they mentioned? Ooh, Pennsylvania. Let's just see here. Okay, they had him down by 4. But Morning Consult, Biden plus 9. He won by what, 2? I actually pull that up right now. Let me just pull up the map so I know the exact margin so people can't say, well, you are off by 0.1%. Yeah. He just barely cracked 50. He won by a point. Morning Consult had him winning by 9. Had him at 52%. Now, they have him tied. Apply the same miss. You're talking about a Trump plus 8 victory in Pennsylvania. No, Biden will win Wisconsin by 20. But just look at this. This is a surge for Biden. Yes, he's not doing as bad as, say, 5 months ago. That's fine. But it was so bad 4 to 5 months ago that he was eventually going to make a bounce back. That doesn't mean he's coming back from this, more than likely a defeat. Because these same polls that had Trump losing by 10, 12, 15 points in these states, they now have him winning or just tied. Let's just go to Michigan. Let's just keep going. Michigan, 2020. Biden plus 8. He won by 3 points. Morning Consult. Biden plus 7. The same deal. In each of these swing states, they missed Trump's margin by 4 to 7 to even 12 points. Let's just keep going. Nevada, the one state that usually overstates Republican support, they still had a polling miss in favor of Biden. 538 had him winning by 5. He won by 2.5. And Morning Consult didn't even pull it. Of course they didn't. But either way, you can keep looking at any one of these states. Let's go to Georgia. Morning Consult, Biden plus 2. He won barely by a point, or like a quarter of a point. So they were actually pretty spot on here. But you can just look at this. I can go through every state. I'll just keep going. North Carolina, they had Biden winning by a point. He lost by 2. Do I have to show you more? That I don't have to read this Axios article to show you. This graph here is incredibly misleading because, yes, Biden has bounced back from past months. The problem, and this is something no one wants to talk about, it's within the margin of error from the last month polling. In most of these races, Trump is still within the margin of error from last month. What does that mean? It could mean that these polls, they're just overstating Biden again. And that this was one good month for him. I mean, this is a surge. You know it's so bad when your opponent's winning the swing states by an average of 4 points, but that's considered a surge because it's not as bad as 7 points or whatever. That's called margin of error. I mean, how can you look at this graph and still say, yes, Biden's in a real good situation? These are polls that still understated Trump by 7 to 12 points back in 2020. Frenchie Writer for 5. Biden's problem is Trump isn't losing support. Biden's just gaining back the liberals who were originally staying undecided/third party. Yeah, there's some truth to that. Again, there's some truth that maybe Trump went down like a couple points here and there. Like Pennsylvania was the only one that, yeah, he probably did go down a little bit in. But the rest of the states, his number, stay the same within a margin of error. So what the hell are these people talking about? Oh, well, he went down a single point. Who frickin' cares? It's like, okay, it fluctuates. That's polling. 1 month is probably gonna be Trump plus 4. Next month is probably Trump plus 5. But you just can keep looking at this and you realize that's probably what's happening here. A lot of these voters, either they're just voting for Biden when you knew for a fact they were never going to vote for Trump, a lot of these undecided voters, or they change their methodology. There's that possibility that, hey, since we're getting closer to the general, they changed their methodology from registered voters to likely voters, or they changed who they're polling. And I actually can bring that up because there's a poll from, I believe it was Heart Research. I could be wrong, but it's from CNBC, I should say, excuse me. And I want to bring this up because it proves my point. Let's see here. Heart Research. Gotta find this. Okay. Found it. All right. So this poll, Heart Research, and let me just get it here. Okay. All right. We're gonna look some crosstabs here because this is gonna prove my point. What I'm saying. That all I think's happening is the polls just changed their methodology. Not that they're faking the numbers. I'm just saying that what probably happened was since say December or January, they changed their methodologies to prepare for the general. Look at Heart Research. They had Trump at +6 back in 2023, late 2023, December. They had him at Trump +1. On paper, that means Trump went down by 5 points. Well, look over here. The sample back in December was an adult sample. That means you don't frickin' know if these people can actually vote. While in March, aka last week, it was registered voters. That means you know for a fact these voters are at least registered. And we've been noticing this in the polling. For the first time ever, Trump is doing better in the adult polls than registered voters or even likely voter polls, which indicates that the higher the turnout, the better it is for Trump, which is crazy, but that's what this indicates. You can go inside the poll, like here is from December 2023, and look at high school grads. They made up 31% of this poll. The newest one, 27%. Just look at the college grads. The college grads went up in the sample. What does that mean? These voters are going to be more friendly to Biden. And that's what I think's happening here. I'm not saying that there might be a shift for Biden. That's fine, a point. 1, maybe 2 points, because, some undecideds are more Democratic leaning this cycle. They're going to break for Biden. But not by a 7-point shift, like the polls are indicating. What I think's happening, mostly, is the polls are polling more Democrat-friendly voters. That's what I think's happening here. Again, I'm not denying that Biden is probably gaining some support back just because we're getting close to the general and these undecideds are going to be much more Democrat-leaning than prior years. But you can't just deny that, hey, the poll back in December was much more friendly to Trump, at least on the education front, compared to March. That's what I gotta say. So I think overall we are seeing some kind of bounce back, but it's not this. They make it sound like it's a 20-point swing. It's like most states, it's like a 2-point swing. Congratulations, you're still down or within the margin of error. Trump is supposedly unelectable candidate, but he's either ahead or he's just tied with you. That's the problem Biden has. That, hey, these polls still have Trump leading, and if you adjust for the errors back in 2016 and 2020, Trump would be up ahead by a lot in every single one of these polls. So, what do you guys think about this? Because I've wanted to talk about this for a little bit. I mean, you can't just... Biden's tied in Michigan. Congratulations. He tied in Pennsylvania. Down by 1 in Wisconsin. The states that he was supposed to win by 12 points. He almost lost. That's there's no surge. A surge would be all right. He's down in Pennsylvania, let's just say Pennsylvania. Or no, let's just say all states. All the states averaged out, combined. If he went from losing by 7, or let's just say, 7, to losing by 2, fine, that's a surge. But this data indicates that all that's happening is it's either undecided, it's just slightly breaking for Biden, or it's statistical noise. That means the margins are probably the same as last month. This is trash. Give me a break. 1 point by Bloomberg, and you're actually going off of that. They had to do something for applesauce brains Biden. Well, I'm not even saying that this is accurate. I mean, I highly doubt Trump's going to win Georgia by 7, Arizona by 5, but lose Wisconsin. I doubt that. But either way, you can't just say, well, he's still at 43% on the average of the states and call that a surge. That's the same as last month. If someone is surging back, you never see a big swing so quick. We saw the same in 2012 with Obama, and Trump surged slowly in August and September of 2020. Yeah. I mean, this just looks like, a random bounce for Biden. Like, okay, it got so bad for him that he was eventually going to go up. It's like back in 2008 with McCain. Like, it was so bad for the Republicans, but he did have a 1 week surge because of Palin, but he collapsed right after. That's what I think's happening here, that he had such a bad last 4 or 5 months that this month hasn't been that bad compared to, say, December of last year. I think that's what's really going on here, because you can look at the favorability ratings, and we'll get to RFK in a second. People are asking me about that, but you can go through the favorability of, let's say, Trump. All right, 53% favorable, 52% unfavorable. Since January of 2021, these are his best numbers ever. At least, yeah, he had one, like 2 or 3 days back in February, a little bit better, but he's within 10 points. Trump has never pulled this good on the favorability question. But go to Joe Biden. Look at this. Back in January of 2022, he was at, 44% favorable with 49% unfavorable. Now look at that. He's pulling worse than Trump. This question he won by 30 points back in 2020. Now, he's losing it by 2. That's like a 30-point swing. That's what people gotta understand here. All that happened was some undecideds broke for Biden, and that's it. I mean, look at the graph. It stayed the exact same for like 3 months. This question has been the exact same since October. Prince is right for 2. CNN just pulled Trump +7 in Michigan. Did they? Is it like a brand new poll or the last one? Okay, yeah, it's the one from a week ago. But yeah, I mean, they had Trump up by like 8 points there. But a couple polls have him going slightly up, while he's stagnant here. You can go to approval of Biden. Same deal. Yeah, see, he had a bounce back slightly because it got so bad that it was not going to get any worse than that. But the same thing happened a couple times. April 2023, same deal. Middle 2022, same thing. It's happened multiple times. Even during Trump's presidency, you would have these bounces. And that's all that's happening right now. He's just slightly going up because it got so bad for him that you can't go any lower. But it's going to go back down in like 2 months. And the same thing happened just this year. Remember back in February, right after Trump won Iowa and New Hampshire, the DeSims were saying the polling closed, Trump is only winning RCP by 0.4%. That's down from 1 point the week prior. Biden is surging. The very next week, Trump took his largest lead he ever had at RCP. Ben Sinnix for 2. In 2020, the polling average moved often on RCP. Yeah, you would have these weird bounces, but it just goes back to normal in a week. That's what happens. Like 3 out of 4 weeks, Trump is up by a lot. Then Biden has one decent week. That means the surge. If he's pulling this good for 3 straight months, fine. But this just looks like what happened with McCain back in 2008. He surged because of Palin, but then imploded right after. That's what I think's happening. Do you agree that ours Republicans would have done worse in 2022 if SCOTUS refused to overturn Roe? You know, there's been that theory where that if Republicans never overturn Roe, that a bunch of evangelicals would have just not voted. Like, if the justices said no, you would have had a bunch of evangelicals say no. I mean, I don't think so, but I could see the argument that, hey, turnout would have been pathetic because the one thing they promised for years, the one time they had a chance at overturning it, it didn't go anywhere. I could see that, but I don't know. Prince is writer for 2. Bernie's win proves they still can't pull the Rust Belt. Yeah. Yeah, remember Bernie Sanders? He was losing Michigan by like 30 or whatever it was. He won it by 2. Trump has never had a net positive approval rating. Joke of a candidate. Well, guess what? Trump's pulling the best he's ever pulled. And Biden's pulling the worst he's ever pulled. So what's the argument about unelectability for Trump? If this is the best he's ever pulled, how can you say he's unelectable? Let's see here. Rap, can you see Trump winning Nevada, Georgia, and Michigan, but falling short in Arizona and Pennsylvania? I could see Arizona, but not Pennsylvania. I'm just, if you win Michigan and especially Georgia and especially Michigan, I just don't see how you lose Pennsylvania in that scenario. I don't. Is it possible? I guess, but it's very unlikely. Bernie Moreno. Oh, yeah, Bernie Moreno, same deal. Yeah, talk about Bernie Moreno. I thought you were talking about Bernie in 2016. Yeah. Bernie Moreno was supposed to win by a point, at most. He won by what, 30? It's just like, if they can't pull a primary correctly, do you really think they can pull a general? No! Alright. So, with that out of the way, overall, I think the surge crap, Biden's doing slightly better, but it's not because it's a long-term gain. It's just a bunch of undecideds are breaking for him, and that's what's happened. Not some mythical surge where secretly Joe Biden is going to win the election because Orange Man bad. But it just seems like that's what's happening. Plus, I showed you that they probably did change the methodology since February, January, December. Let's see. R. Jacob Woodyard for 10. To what do you attribute the poor Republicans showing all over for special election and ballot initiatives, as well as the weak midterms? Seems like the polls missed hidden Democrat support. So, I've done videos on this streams, but the big thing is the coalitions are changing. This is not the coalition of Bush. Remember, back in 2010, back in 2014, that era, even with Bush, Republicans did best in low turnout races and down ballot crap that no one cared about. Like a special election for a House seat. Because it was low turnout. That was the Republican base back then. It was college grads who voted every single election. That's a fact. Now, though, you change the coalition where you have low propensity voters. What does that mean? No, it's fine. No, I have answered a couple times a couple months ago, but what essentially happened was these new voters for the Republican Party, they don't vote except if Trump's on the ballot. And we have polling data to prove that now. So Republicans have to get these low propensity voters out to vote because it's a larger portion of the electorate, but you got to get them to vote. They're not going to vote like college grads in every election. Like, look back at 2014. The Republican Party won the midterms because no one voted. That's a fact. Congratulations. You can't win a presidential election because of high turnout, but you can win a 30% midterm. Just congratulations. That's That was the Republican Party back then. Couldn't win anything. In fact, back then, they prayed for lower turnout. They were like, please, please, no more higher than like 40% turnout. We can't win. But now it's the opposite. It's Republicans who benefit from higher turnout. Man Milk for 2. What's a Clinton, Trump, Biden, Fetterman, McCormick voter? A schizophrenic. That's the best way to put it. Just a complete schizophrenic. Biden got a huge hit in Missouri today. Like 40% of St. Louis voted against him. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Missouri was a joke for him. He got like 84%, 10,000 people voted for him. He lost a bunch of delegates. It was pathetic. I did see that. But either way, you can't go back to 2014. Why would you even want to? Like, think about this for a minute. The only reason Republicans had huge majorities in 2010 and 2014 was because A, the only people that voted in midterms were old white voters or college grads. Gee, I wonder who they're going to vote for, especially back then. But number 2, Democrats held an ungodly amount of McCain seats. Yes, McCain lost a popular vote by like 6 or 7 points, but there was like 40 House seats that Democrats won that McCain ended up winning. That's your majority right there. That's why Republicans gained so much in 2010 and 2014. That's what happened. That's the only reason these voters or Republicans gained these House seats, because they already voted for McCain. It just took a low turnout of midterm to take these clowns out. Plus, Democrats had a lot of incumbents retire. Republicans did not have that fortune in 2022. If they had higher turnout, they would have won. Bailey Spangler for 2. Describe a Biden Hogan voter. A voter from suburban Maryland. Like the Virginia Fairfax, or not Fairfax, the DC suburbs. 2008 was Obama by 7.5 and House Dems by 10.5. Yeah. House Dems did way better than Obama, which is funny, but that's what happened. And also, yes, you had a lot of leftover blue dogs who all retired or in such deep red seats that all it took was a red wave to take them out. That's what happened. And you're never getting that again. We are in an era now where even midterms have higher turnout. They just do. You need to get as many votes out as possible. You can't just bank on, well, just Biden bad. You're not going to get these voters back. Do you think Roe being overturned caused pro-life voters switch to Democrats since their top issue has been solved? Now they are free to vote to protect Social Security, Medicare? No. I highly doubt that. Like, a lot of the pro-life Democrats left in the 90s. I highly doubt they magically flip now, you know? I guess it's possible, but it's probably so insignificant that it doesn't even really matter. Describe a Clinton, Dole, Gore, Bush, Obama, Romney, Clinton, Trump, Biden voter. Again, a schizophrenic. A schizophrenic that hates the incumbent. Or actually, wait. Yeah, just schizophrenic. That votes for the opposing party. People don't talk about this, but Republicans actually did better in Pennsylvania in 2022 than in 2014, especially in the governor's race. Yeah, but to be fair, you can't compare midterms like that. It's kind of difficult, but yeah. Alright, so should we talk about the RFK stuff? Because that was freaking pathetic today. Because RFK Jr. has officially picked his VP. And I watched parts of the announcement. I'm baffled at what I just witnessed. It was a couple hours ago. It was pathetic. This announcement was the biggest crapshoot I've ever seen. Especially from someone like RFK. I thought he was smart enough to understand, no. You have to have some kind of decent announcement that wasn't this. He names Nicole Shanahan as his VP pick. Listen, you could have had so many good options. There were so many good options for you. All right, you could have picked anyone, a former Democrat, a former Republican, anyone. But you picked Nicole Shanahan, and you know why? Because Shanahan bought him off. She paid him like $4 million. That's what happened here. Shanahan is a partisan Democrat that's not just, a like pro law and order Dem. No, not even that. She's a partisan Democrat through and through. Donated hundreds of millions of, or I should say hundreds of thousands of dollars to Democrats, gave RFK $4 million, and now magically, she's the VP. What does that tell you about this campaign? I never know who Nicole Shanahan really is, but all I do know is she's a partisan Dem. And actually, I can pull this up. I mean, you want to hear something freaking hilarious? The wiki page. I looked at it real quick today, and I thought it was a parody. All right. Here we go. This is the independent that this bozo decided to pick. Okay. Nicole Shanahan. Never heard of her before today. So, let's look at her political contributions, right? In the 2010s and 2020s, Shanahan made various contributions to left-leaning organizations and Democratic political candidates. In 2020, Shanahan was a major donor for Measure J, a criminal justice reform referendum in LA County. Also in 2020, Shanahan contributed $150,000 to support George Gascon in his challenge to incumbent LA District Attorney Jackie Lacey. Already off to a real good start. This is who RFK picked. Not some blue dog Dem, not some, former Republican. No. He decided to go with the progressive Democrat route. Mike for 2. Trump/Gabbard 2024. Tim Scott VP equals Trump unalived. I could see that, but I could see Gabbard maybe being Secretary of State, but I don't see him picking Tim Scott either. But yeah. Look at this. I mean, you picked a partisan Democrat that has a history of just donating to Democrats. And right here, remember that Super Bowl ad that people kind of liked? She donated $4 million to that super PAC to pay for a 30-second TV Super Bowl ad aired during the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl. Excuse me. Yeah. She funded this campaign for that Super Bowl ad, and now she's the VP. I mean, listen, I never was going to vote for Kennedy, but I always saw him as, a Democrat that was being honest to the American people. Like, he was trying to be an actual independent. But what does he have at this point? What's the appeal to RFK? What? He's anti-gun. I mean, he's flip-flops on reparations and the environment. You don't frickin' know what he stands on abortion, on the issue of abortion. He picks partisan Democrats all around him. I mean, that's his campaign. Just partisan Democrats. Now, the good news is that's going to probably help Trump more than Biden. That a bunch of Democrats are going to vote for him because he's going down this partisan route. But what's the freaking point? I mean, you're going to go with someone no one's ever heard of? At least Aaron Rodgers. That was a meme, but at least people know who the hell he is. He would have definitely brought eyes to the campaign. Not freaking a big donor. Progressives are a weak spot for Biden. Probably the easiest demographic for him to make gains with. I could see that. That's probably why he went with her. But for a serious campaign, I just don't see this as a viable strategy. Because what is he going to do? Get 12, like at most 10%? Not to mention also the ex-wife of the person running Google or something like that. No, that's ironic. But you could have went with a lot of different people. I'm sure that there's probably some random congressman or senator or hell, even a state legislator, governor, former governor, whatever, that might have been interested in being your VP. You're telling me not one wanted to at least potentially be your VP? You decided to go with a lobbyist? When you're trying to run as the independent anti-establishment candidate, this is your idea? The pick isn't terrible in itself. Well, no, the pick is awful. You know, he's trying to appeal to progressives. That's his entire campaign, which is not going to get him anywhere. I mean, he might win some never Biden Democrats, but I don't know. Rap, how would you describe a Biden AOT voter? Just New Hampshire voters in a nutshell. She was likely the only one willing to be on the ticket. I doubt that. Like, who has endorsed him? Endorsements for RFK Jr. Because, let's see here. I mean, he had a couple endorsements. You're telling me not one person would be willing to at least be the VP? A lot of Trump voters don't trust Tulsi because they won't be happy if he picked her as VP. I don't believe that. I don't think she's known enough for that to be real. Plus, she's an independent, so an argument could be made Tulsi helps Trump. But I don't know if I buy into that 100%, but I could see it. I could see the argument that it could work. Not saying it will, but just gotta see. I bet you he steals votes from Jill Stein. Yeah, I mean, I don't get the strategy. I really don't. Apparently, it was a last-minute decision because in order to get in the Nevada ballot, he needed a VP, and the deadline was approaching. I thought the deadline was like in 3 months. I thought he had plenty of time. Let's see here. I think this is actually a good thing. RFK Jr. may just be a Democrat, but he is smart enough to want Trump over Biden, so he wants to start Biden the general. I mean, that might be the whole plan here. Like, just say, screw it. Trump is better than Biden. Orange man is not perfect, but better than Biden. So let's go take the progressives away from him. I guess, but I don't know. Hey, Rap, do you think the Main Street Republicanism of trust-busting big tech and major investment firms, economic populism, nationalism, and Midwestern conservatism would work for the GOP? So like a JD Vance type? Yeah. I think a JD Vance or Josh Hawley type. I don't know. We just gotta see. I think it could, but I don't know. Describe a Biden slash describe a Biden Morinero voter. I'm having a hard time speaking today. Moreno. Excuse me. Had a hard time saying that for no reason. But yeah, Moreno. I would guess it would be just a random voter in like Columbus or something. Just something random. I don't know. Bro can't pronounce Moreno. I had a Biden moment. I'm sorry. I was trying to say Molinaro for no reason. It's Moreno. I had a brain. Listen. It's Moreno. Shut up. I get it. I had a brain fart. Yeah, I had a Biden moment. Not fun. For whatever reason, I thought that said Molinaro. Real Biden politics. Well, no, I saw he said Molinaro, and I was like confused. I was reading again. It's like, wait, this doesn't make any sense. That's why I was trying to read and say Molinaro, like Mariana. Oh man. Get me politics for 2. Short answer to the title, no. Oh, yeah, that's gonna be a meme. I'm sorry, chat. I meant to say Moreno. I'm sorry. I thought he said Molinaro. That's why I was saying it weird. I was just thinking to myself, wait, that's not Molinaro, but that's what I thought he meant. Mark Molinaro, yeah. Rap, who would have been RFK's best plus realistic choice? I can't think top of my head, but you would assume like some random former congressman or something that like hates both parties. Maybe? Like something like that would have made sense because you could say, well, you got experience on the ticket and you need that. I think RFK will only get 3 to 5% of the popular vote at this point. I think so, but it hurts Biden. So I really don't care. Cease the racism against Italians. What did I say? I know I messed it up. I was trying to say Moreno, but I said Molinaro. Weird. It's like, yeah. Because I was trying to like pack in the words like, okay, wait. This doesn't seem right. Jesse Ventura. I just don't think he adds anything to the ticket except the memes. Imagine Trump picks Joe Rogan for VP. That's never going to happen. He might be on Joe Rogan's podcast, which would be funny, but highly doubt it happens. Let's see. Did you hear Paramount is talking to Hayden Christensen to vote Shadow the Hedgehog in Sonic 3? Really? Hayden Christensen? Really? I don't think that's really Sonic, but whatever. Yeah, Ventura, I just think is more of a meme. I really don't think that's like a serious option, you know? It just seems like, you know, crap route of ideas, quick. Pick Ventura. He was a governor 20 years ago. Surely he can go well. Imagine Trump picks Dr. Phil's VP. No, not gonna happen. It's gonna be someone like Ben Carson or Tim Scott. RFK Jr. could have picked Alex Jones, picked the VP debate stage that happened. Oh, good lord. Alex Jones, the VP debate stage. That would be the greatest stream of all time. Imagine Rogue at the VP debates. Harris, have you ever taken DMT? Well, she did, I thought. Did she take DMT or no, was that weed? One of the two. Let's see. Just because people are unhappy with Biden does not mean they will vote for the other guy. Well, no one's saying that, but if they just don't vote, or just vote for, like, RFK or something, no one cares. I would hope that Trump gains states over his 2016 margin, like Minnesota or Virginia or Colorado or New York. He's not going to win any of those states. Maybe, I guess, Minnesota somehow, but that's like his best case scenario. He wins Minnesota. What's your take of the Baltimore incident? Still a lot of, we don't know what happened, but I do believe there was the power outage on the boat. Luckily, most people got off the bridge, but I think some people died still. So, prayers out. Not good what happened, but it could have been a lot worse. That's all I can really say. Red Line is saying Biden's chance of winning continued to diminish. Okay, did he actually say that? No. Did he say it? Did he say the thing? Let's check. Well, he said it. Well, pack it up, everyone. We lost. Joe Biden will be the next president of the United States. He just won re-election. Pack it up, everyone. Biden's re-election chance to continue to get worse. Great. We lost. Woo! Yay. We lost. We got jinxed. It's over. Orange Man did this. Yeah, it's officially over with, when Red Lion said this. Yeah, it's F's in chat. We lost. Pack it up for 2028. Why do we not like Red Lion? No, I'm a big fan of Red Lion, but it's just like a meme where every time he says something, the complete opposite happens. Biden surge. Yeah, now next week will be like, Biden is actually having a surge in the polling. I'm Biden. Yeah, not good. Next week, we will say that Republicans are doomed. Yeah, we're going to have a stream next week. The Republican Party has taken a 30-point loss in the polling after Red Lion. Yeah, I love the comments. This was a gift to Trump. Don't underestimate the left. Well, Biden has won re-election. Do you have a take on the Bible Trump is selling? Christians I know who have Trump derangement syndrome are furious. You know, I'm just gonna stay out of it because it's such a, like, who freaking cares type of ordeal. It's like, that's what you're worried about. Not gonna get into it. Red Lions and Jim Cramer election Twitter. Oh yeah. Most of the time. He's been better lately, but the cope with an age for 2. I feel like Ben Carson will definitely inevitably be the VP. I mean, I think Ben Carson's the best realistic choice, but We just gotta see. Let's see. Red line for Biden VP. Yeah, he should, like, campaign for Biden. The opposite occurs. Red line should become Biden's campaign manager. Mike for 2. Biden surge equals minus 17 approval to minus 14 approval. Yeah. I can actually bring that up right on stream. Yeah, right here. Yes. A week ago, he was at Biden minus 17. Now he's at plus or minus 13. All right. He's been at this point for 5 months now. Did you see Pete Buttigieg was going on about these bridges were built to be racist in his response to the tragedy? What? Wait, what? Pete Buttigieg. I did not hear that. Did he actually say that? There's no way he said that. Do you think a candidate winning with a majority is more legit than winning with a plurality in an election? Well, yeah. Just the optics of that. Like, hey, you got over 50% of the population. You got a clear majority. If you get a plurality, people look at that and say, well, you didn't actually win the majority. So, can you do a prediction with RFK in play? Now, RFK is going to get like 5%. And he actually did say it. I'm a racist. There's no way. Let's see. Gas on the rise in summer's around the corner. I'm in Las Vegas, and I just paid $4.50 for a regular. Yeah, I mean, gas prices aren't everything, but there's definitely signs that I would not be so confident if I was the Biden campaign. No matter who wins there, Maryland Senate is the funniest election of the decade. Yeah, I'm just hoping that Hogan wins for the memes. Because at that point, it would just be the most chaotic way to get a majority. Larry Hogan pulls off the upset. Hey Rap, does the red line know he's a meme? Does he realize he jinxes us? Yeah, he understands he's a meme. Sometimes I don't think he's actually serious, but people I think, take it a bit too far. Either way. What does Pete even do? Supposedly he fixes the roads, but yeah. That's looking real, the bridge. Never mind, not gonna say that joke. Never mind. Larry Hogan for VP. No. We don't need Larry Hogan for VP. Just keep him as senator in Maryland and everyone will be happy. Did you see Biden saying he took the train across the bridge that collapsed? Yeah, wasn't there like no train on the bridge or something? And he said that? I would not be shocked if that's the case, but use economic nationalism to bring jobs back. I agree. I agree with that. All right. So either way, I do think, though, RFK is just not going to be a factor as much as I thought he was going to be. I mean, at some point, it's like, okay, if he's a legitimate third-party candidate, he would be surging. He would at some point surge. He's a respectable 12%, but we know damn well what happens every single time. The independents pull kind of good at the start, but then, unless they're freaking Ross Perot, they implode. So, it's a pure road bridge, no tracks. So what the hell is he talking about that I took a train on that every single day? I knew Buttigieg was going to be a disaster, then East Palestine happened, and well, I got vindicated. Yeah. The whole Buttigieg stuff, he was given that spot because he helped give Biden the presidency. Let's be real. He dropped out because Obama said so. He made a deal with Biden that if he drops out and endorses him, he gets a cabinet position. Which you would think it would be some random, like, frickin' third-tier position. Not Secretary of Infrastructure, the ones that, make sure the roads, the bridges, the airports, make sure everything's going smoothly. Yeah, no. Not good. Princess Rider for 2. That's a bridge too far rap. Oh, good lord. Do you think Trump could win the popular vote with over 50%? I don't think so. I think he gets like 46%, 47%. I guess best case scenario, RFK gets like 12% of the vote, then but it's all Biden voters, then I guess, and he wins a bunch of, I don't know. I guess it's possible, but yeah. Rap, I have a theory. Hispanics are not pro-life or pro-choice. The issue doesn't motivate them one way or the other. Thoughts? I think that's false. There's some Hispanics that are pro-life, some are pro-choice. It's kind of a broad thing to say where it's like, no Hispanic cares. I don't think so. Don't think so. But they may not be as motivated as, say, white liberals with abortion. Maybe, I guess. Maybe. I think Trump gets like 49% of the vote. I think 47. I think that's reasonable. You can't say much more because with third parties being on the ballot and Trump, it's still Trump. He has a high floor but a low ceiling. I don't know. Unless something absolutely crazy happens where he gets like, 20% of the black vote, then yeah, but... Hey, did you see the new Texas poll? I actually wanted to bring that up. Thank you for mentioning that. Texas, where you at? Yet another poll where Trump outruns Republicans. This time, he's winning by 11 against Biden, but 12 against Biden and Kennedy. That's not far off from what he got in 2016. Hell, that one including Kennedy, and I would assume if you included Jill Stein and West, this number would probably be Trump plus 14, which is nearly identical to what Mitt Romney got. But Cruz, he's at plus 6, and I know Cruz is more polarizing, but the important thing is he's above 50%. He's at 51%, so he's in a good situation to hold on. Why does Nevada move so far in Trump's favor in the polls? Seems pretty random with how Nevada has voted in the past. Well, because demographics in Nevada should theoretically help Trump, especially if he's doing so good with Hispanic voters. But we just got to see. Plus, you do got the union vote with the casinos, so... The culinary unions, I should say. I've seen a lot of Hispanics say they don't want to vote for Joe again, but I'm sure Joe will deny any problem. Yeah, no, his campaign, they're just delusional. They think everything's fine. Nothing wrong here, everyone. Just, we're down and pulling to Orange Man. Nothing wrong here. Nothing bad could happen. Surely this is just a fluke. Surely. I'm kind of worried about the abortion pill getting the Supreme Court. They're going to just punt it till after the election. I highly doubt they do what they did with Roe versus Wade. Highly doubt it. It's moving at a snail's pace to the right. Yeah, it's Nevada. It's the one state that you think it's going to make a big swing to the right, and it swings like 1 point. Maybe a point and a half. And that's it. Bloomberg News got Trump up in Georgia by 7. Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier with the Axios article, that he's up by 7. Which is freaking hilarious, but I doubt that. You could say that, yeah, Trump is not going to win Georgia by 7, more than likely, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be for Biden. It just means that, hey, Trump is probably going to win the state by a couple points, not by 10. Do you think Republicans are likely to lose the House and win the Senate? If Trump wins the presidency, I just think they hold on to the House. If he really is winning these states by 5 to 6 points, I just don't see how they lose it. Let's see. Hey, Rap. It was a virtue signal because Buttigieg is gay. Well, yeah. It was virtue signaling. They want to do that crap, and no one likes it. I think Trump wins Georgia by 3. I just think it's going to be like 2 to 3, yeah. Maybe 4. Like, how much did he win in 2016 by? Like 5? So yeah, I could see 4 being like about the upper limit. Supreme Court might do something to screw with the GOP right before the election. I don't think so. They're going to punt it to after because they don't want to see what happened last time again. What's your prediction for the North Korean parliamentary election? Don't they have primaries now in North Korea? Not like, direct ones, but you still can choose or something. Be kind of funny, but yeah. Let's see. Text poll came out today. Yeah, we were looking at it, and Trump's winning by 11. So funny enough, Trump's outrunning Cruz by 5 and 6. Also, slow down legal immigration. Maybe. Are you worried that Dems will get to the House before November, pass the bill banning Trump from the ballot? No, what's going to happen is, worst case scenario, Johnson going to, like, put the House in recess for, like, 3 months. Then they do the special elections, and then they get the House back. That's what's going to happen. It's freaking stupid Mike Gallagher's doing, but he wants to do it his way. He's running a hissy fit about it. And I've always thought about this. Chat, what do you think about this? Whenever there's a vacancy like that, you know, whether it's like a Mike Gallagher situation, until a special election can be held, wouldn't it make sense for the party that has that seat to choose who the next, their replacement is? Like, okay, let's say the Mike Gallagher, Republicans in that district should be able to nominate a temporary congressman so they can still be represented and not do what Mike Gallagher is doing and screwing them over because he wants to spite his base. I think they should do that. In my opinion, I think that's the best way to do it, where the party in that district can choose, at least the counties there. A temporary solution for a temporary replacement, I should say. Then they can have a special election and all that. So they can actually function in the House. It's all Kim Jong-un on the ballot. I thought they had primaries, though. Like, for one race. There's, like, 2 primaries or something. Let's see. It's all Kim Jong-un on the ballot. I heard Joe is polling well in Pyongyang. Oh, good lord. I don't like the idea of anyone besides the voters of a district choosing their rep. Well, no, I'm just saying, like, a temporary, like, replacement. For, like, a month or something. So you don't have what's happened with Gallagher, where he can essentially blackmail the party. As a big FU. You know? I don't know. Imagine we had Mazi Pilip represent Santos' district until Swazi won. Well, yeah, it wouldn't be perfect, but it's better than frickin' dealing with Santos, or not Santos, Mike Gallagher pulling what he's doing. By the way, we should have never got rid of Santos. This vindicates it. Okay. I disagree. I think that after a senator or Congress resigns, we have to wait a month and a half for the primary, 1.5 months for the general, 3 months in total. I think that's too far. Like, make it like a month each. Month for the primary, then a month extra for the general. That makes sense then. All right, last calls for super chats. If anyone got any questions, concerns, comments, begin sending them now. Last calls for super chats, everyone. Kind of went over everything I wanted to talk about with the polling data to show that no, Trump's not having this magical collapse and Biden is surging. He went up a point. Congratulations. Santos was hilarious. Yeah, everyone loves Santos. So, sucks to got rid of him like that. What the hell happened with that bridge in Maryland? A boat hit it. That's what happened. That's what happened. What is a guy named Gallagher doing representing Wisconsin? Well, Mike Gallagher's a joke. And most people realize, yeah, he was never a good congressman. We dodged a freaking bullet with him dropping out of that Senate seat. Thank God for Eric Hovde. Because if we would have been stuck with Mike freaking Gallagher, we would have got crushed. Santa's a queen. Oh, good lord. Alright, if you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you all so much,